Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with a Transformers movie update. So Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. We've had some interesting things pop up here in the past couple weeks. The biggest being that the Dinobots beast modes may have been revealed through some toy packaging. Some other things through the toy packaging, also what one of the Autobots might be, and speculation on what one of the other Autobots could quite possibly be, and one of the villains confirmation. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it. First up, let's talk about some of these Autobots. Okay, first up, I want to talk about the Bugatti that we've been seeing. FullMetalHero.com has reported speculation on who that character might be. It's said that this is a phone screen grab of the robot mode of that Bugatti, which it does kind of have the colors and the front end piece, very samurai looking, and is supposed to be none other than Drift. Drift, of course, we see first appearing in IDW Comics. He's kind of a rogue character. He's a Decepticon turned Autobot, and he kind of goes around hunting Decepticons, which is kind of interesting. This really kind of reminds me more of Samurai Prowl from Transformers Animated, but sure, I could buy this. Again, right now it's just speculation. It's kind of interesting with which one of the villains may actually come around, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when we actually get to that villain. So let's talk about some of those toy reveals. Alright, so Walmart.com has revealed, or leaked, I guess, some information with some toys that are coming out for this line. Transformers Movie 4 Wave, and the figures are Sparkers, which is kind of interesting. If you look back at the Optimus Prime first look review that I did, the shield kind of had this energy thing going off, and I'm wondering if that's going to carry over as a theme for the toys in the movies. So this is probably a combo pack, maybe like a deluxe figure and a Legend figure, or both Legends figures, similar to what we saw in Transformers Prime, Beast Hunters. But it's matching up an Autobot with a Dinobot. So we have Optimus Prime and Grimlock. We have Bumblebee and Strafe. We have Scorn and Crosshairs. We have Slash and Hound. We have Slug and Drift. And we have Wolf and Lockdown. And that's kind of interesting. We have a Decepticon setup there. So talk about these. Obviously, we have some Dinobots here. Slug, Slash, Scorn, Strafe, and Grimlock. We obviously know that Optimus Prime and Grimlock have already been talked about. We've seen the leak of the Optimus Prime figure. We have seen images of Optimus Prime on Grimlock, which I'll get to. And this kind of collaborates an early leaked story about Lockdown, who is a bounty hunter in Transformers Animated when we first see him, and has made it over into other Transformers mainstream. But the leak was that he had a ship full of decommissioned Transformers, that Optimus Prime gets reactivated somehow, and ends up, they're the Dinobots, and he rides in Grimlock, and Bumblebee rides in the Pterodon, which is obviously Strafe here, into Hong Kong. Which this really kind of lends credit to that. Also, this lends credit to that robot mode being Drift, as we see him with Slug. Okay, and then I'm not really sure who Wolf could be. We know Hound is a character. He's one of the military trucks. And Crosshairs. What we think is that one of the other Autobots. So let's talk about that. Just real quick, here is the green Corvette Stingray that we have seen, and it's really kind of narrowed it down to this has got to be Crosshairs, which in G1, Crosshairs was a red, white, and blue kind of Cybertronian truck thing, crossover thing, and he was a Target Master Transformer. Now, odds of him being a Target Master here, not likely, but we're pretty sure that this is, in fact, Crosshairs. And as for our villain, looks like it's going to be Lockdown, at least one of them. I'm not sure what his connection to Galvatron, who's also rumored to be a big bad in this movie, is going to be. But I mean, this really lends credence to him with the Dinobots, the deactivated Transformers, and whoever this Wolf character is. Maybe it's Weird Wolf, a form of him, who was a headmaster during the whole Transformers Headmasters in the last throes of the G1 cartoon. Who knows? Maybe we will get a Target Master and Headmaster. I doubt it, but it's kind of interesting to speculate on that. So, and the thing that kind of brings me back with Drift, or I talked about earlier, I mean, it's very possible that Drift is hunting Lockdown, and that's how they all kind of run into the Transformers on Earth. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But the big reveal that we want to talk about are the Dinobots. Yes, we know Grimlock is in this. Yes, we know Optimus Prime is shown riding here on this artwork, supposed artwork from the movie, concept art, and Prime riding Grimlock into battle, facing the Decepticons. Bumblebee's supposed to be on a Pterodon, which is looking like that is Strafe instead of Swoop. And then we have a few more Dinobots. And that, we believe, has been revealed through the toy packaging from the Amazon.com leak of Optimus Prime. If you notice on the back of the Optimus Prime packaging, on the inside, looks like there was a bunch of blueprints. And when you get those blueprints by themselves, you can clearly see other dinosaurs. So let's take a look at those. Alright, so here we have the artwork from the packaging that was leaked. Clearly other Dinobots. We definitely see Grimlock, we see a Pterodon, and some others. We're going to talk about these. We'll zoom in on a few of them. Some people out there on the fan boards have kind of pulled some images here, and let's talk about who they are and who we think they are, corresponding to the Walmart toy release. Alright, so we definitely have a T-Rex here, and that's obviously Grimlock. Very similar to the supposed concept artwork that we've seen of Optimus Prime riding him. No doubt he's going to be there. He's going to be a leader figure, and he's definitely combined with Optimus on the Walmart toy release. So let's take a look at the other Dinobot who Bumblebee's supposed to be riding in the film, which we know him as Swoop, but looks like he's got a new name. Alright, so the Pterodon looks like it's going to be Strafe. They've changed the name from Swoop. Of course, the original Dinobots, Grimlock, Swoop, Snarl, Sludge, and Slag. So Swoop is now Strafe. I'm not sure why the name change. Maybe it's a legal thing, or they just want to mix it up and do something different. So this is obviously a Pterodon. Not surprising. Gotta have some air support, even though a Pterodon's really not a dinosaur. But that's okay. They're giant killer robots from space. What are you going to do? So let's take a look at the new Dinobots and new potential beast reveals. Alright, so first up we have Slug. Well, we think this is Slug. There's a lot of people thinking that this Triceratops type of dinosaur is going to be Slug. The reason for that is, well, it's a Triceratops with spikes along the top, and it has a spiky tail much like a Stegosaurus. So there are people that think they've mixed Slag and Snarl together to make this new character, Slug. And why not call him Slag? Well, some people are speculating that's the case because it is a derogatory term in England. Is that the case? Any of my UK people, let me know. Is that a derogatory term? I'm kind of interested in that. It's kind of a cuss word in Transformers. A lot of the characters in Transformers Animated, Transformers Prime, and the comics use slag and scrap as a replacement for a cuss word. So, yeah, this is kind of interesting. Looks like they're mixing two together, making up a brand new dinosaur that hasn't existed. But, okay, whatever. It's a Michael Bay movie. I'll buy it. Let's look at the next Dinobot, shall we? Alright, so the next Dinobot on the list is a Spinosaurus. Without any doubts, that's what it is. And I'm going to say that this is Scorn, and there's a reason for that. There are two new ones, Scorn and Slash. And I just think this one's going to be called Scorn, mainly because of the next character. Now, the Spinosaurus typically is larger than a Tyrannosaurus. So I wonder if we're going to have some control issues between this character and Grimlock. It'll be pretty interesting to see what happens with it. But I definitely like the fact they're adding a Spinosaurus. I think they're very cool. I've loved them since Jurassic Park 3. So let's take a look at Slash. Alright, so here is our last member of the Dinobots, number 5, which is Slash. Now, there's been some speculation he's a Velociraptor. In fact, there's another fellow YouTuber named The Ragin' Nation. If you have not checked out his channel, definitely go check it out. Pretty cool stuff. Actually, where I learned about a lot of this stuff was off of his site. So, he's thinking it's a Ceratosaurus, which is another large theropod, meat-eating dinosaur. And his rationale is Velociraptors are too small, and Michael Bay likes to go big. I agree with him in that fact, but I don't think it's a Ceratosaurus, mainly because of the head shape. A Ceratosaurus has a unique crest on the head, and it doesn't seem to exist here. Also, on this particular dinosaur, it has long arms and a large thumb hook, and it's kind of pointing out the legs, the feet down there, and on the foot there's also a large hook, much like a Velociraptor. So if it's not a Velociraptor, then the only thing I can think of in going with the mind of go big or go home, it's got to be a Megaraptor, which is about the size of a Ceratosaurus. However, it's just a large version of a Velociraptor, or it looks like one anyway. They're actually not related, I don't think. But it's got the large toe. I think it's like a foot or 2 foot long slashing claw on its foot, and it also has a large slashing thumb hook as well. And in comparison to a Tyrannosaurus, it's a little bit smaller. It's probably half to 3/4 the size of a T-Rex, which would go along well with the other Dinobots. So that's my opinion. That's why I think he's Slash. I think it's for the hook on the feet and the thumb, and I think the Spinosaur is going to be Scorn. What do you guys think? Do you think these are pretty accurate predictions? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a message below. Make your own video and attach it. Definitely cool stuff. Transformers 4, we should get some footage at the Super Bowl commercial times. I don't know. We'll check it out. So thanks for watching, guys, and look for more videos in the future.